Before I begin the topic, which is your weight, your health, Jupiter, and prosperity, I would also like to tell you that with this video, I do not wish to propagate the idea of either being unhealthy or looking at your weight in a way which does not subscribe to your idea, because I do understand, as somebody who has gone through weight issues myself, I have seen how that is related to the mental health. Namaskar, this is me, Nehaa Goyal from Nehaa Goyal Dream Reading, your empowerment coach, tarot reader, numerologist, and DNA astrologer. This is what I learned from my astrology guru, Shri Dipanshu Giriji. So Jupiter in our astrological chart is associated with the fat content in our body. Now somehow, because of the media that we are exposed to, be it the magazines, and especially our generation, which is probably the generation from 70s to the 2000s, our generation is crazy because I was brought up in that particular time to have a flat stomach, space between the thighs, and so on and so forth, so much that it started to play with their sense of worth. It started to play with their sense of identity. Jupiter is associated with the fat content of our body. What else does Jupiter signify? It signifies our idea of holding things, of holding concepts. It's also the idea of a higher understanding. Jupiter is a planet which, if you look at the solar system itself, it's that planet which gives us protection. And Jupiter works alongside Sun. Yes, it's not just the Sun around which all the grahas, all the planets revolve. It is also the berry point, the जिसे कहते हैं गुरु तत्व, or the akarshan, the gravitational force of Jupiter mixed with Sun, which keeps the solar system together, which is the external solar system, and as without, so within. That is what keeps us, our own internal solar system, together as well. What I really mean is the way in which grahas affect us. Communication, which is Mercury, our idea of bliss, which is Venus, our idea of reality, which is Saturn, and so on and so forth. If you want to know what all does grahas associate, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nehaa Goyal Dream Reading, or stay tuned to my stories on Instagram. There's a lot of information I share with respect to that. So coming back to Jupiter and its benefits, where it does associate with fat, and you will be happy to know that some of us are supposed to naturally have an optimum level of this fat, which to others might seem like it is too much. But for us, if we reduce it, for certain people, if they reduce it, we will lose the capacity of holding prosperity, of being happy. In fact, it will take us towards being unhealthy mentally, physically, as well as emotionally, because we are reducing our Guru Tattva, our attraction, unnaturally, to the extent that we were not supposed to. So let me give you an example here. Women who have hourglass figures, which means that they are wider at the hip, that is how it is supposed to be. Maybe these are women who are not supposed to work on having gaps in their thighs, because it will not be able to hold their structure above and below, which is why if you reduce it below a point, these women might start having issues in terms of legs or issues in terms of fertility. So it is very important to know that how far can you go beyond which it starts becoming unhealthy for you to lose fat. It is not, life is not about having a flat stomach. The only reason of putting it out there is that do not go by the idea of how much a perfect weight or how a perfect look should be, just because you see it in the media. You are perfect the way you are. Just look at making yourself more healthier in terms of physical, emotional, and mental within the given set of what you have. Because if you do not, if you try and copy someone else, maybe it is reducing the prosperity, the Guru Tattva, the attraction that you naturally carry. Now, with what I have discussed, do you have any questions? And if yes, or if you have a view, please put it in the comment section. Namaskar, Radhe Radhe.